Many famous dancers like Isadora Duncan, Pina Bausch, Martha Graham, Yvonne Rainer, and Merce Cunningham were modern dancers that broke new ground in defining what dance could be. But we have to remember the one who helped inspire these people. A pioneer in motion, the story of Loie Fuller. When Loie Fuller was born outside of Chicago in 1862 to her parents Reuben and Delilah Fuller, the Civil War had just begun and Abraham Lincoln had just been elected president. As a young adult, Fuller's career in performance led her to New York City. There, Fuller had the opportunity to produce shows. She found some success, but she wanted to expand her audience, so she moved her efforts to London. After spending some time in London, Fuller still wasn't able to find the success that she wanted there. So a manager recommended that she go to the United States to take part in a play called Quack MD. So she moved back to New York. In New York, she spent a while debating what costume she should wear to accurately depict the role she was playing, a skirt dancing widow. She ended up deciding on a long silk and gauze rope skirt that she had been given at a dinner party back in London. According to Fuller, she asked the electrician in the theater to put green lamps along the floor for a more mesmerizing effect. Her dance was a beautiful combination of quick, gentle movements with a long fabric, which she would hold above her head and wave in different motions. Combined this with the light shining down onto her, the color of the fabric appeared as if it was moving. She became a canvas for the light. However, the rest of New York was not ready for this unique style yet. Fuller then created 12 different characteristic motions and what colors they should be shown with. She convinced the manager to watch her dance. The manager loved her unique take on the style and suggested to her what music she should use for this dance, and it was titled the Serpentine Dance. Fuller, still unable to find success as a dancer in New York, traveled to Paris to pitch her idea. At the time, Paris was full of different emerging types of art. She decided that if she was going to find success in dancing, she would find it in the City of Light. So she moved to Paris in 1892 and started working in different music halls, one of them being the Folies Bergère. The Folies Bergère was a famous music hall in Paris where many well-known dancers came to fame. Fuller became the most famous dancer at the Folies Bergère, and many of the posters they made advertising had her picture on them. Fuller was also the first documented dancer who designed her own stage using moving colored lights. While she was dancing, she would tap her foot on the ground to signal to the lighting technicians controlling the lights. She created a wheel which had different colored glass that would be positioned in front of the light in order to create a saturated glow, and then spun to quickly change the hue. But even with her elaborate displays, Fuller dreamed of making her garments glow without the use of electricity. When Fuller learned of radium, she was intrigued. Radium is a radioactive element that glows a pale blue in the dark that was discovered by Marie Curie. However, getting her hands on enough radium to coat a costume was near impossible and not to mention deadly. Instead, Loie Fuller and Marie Curie partnered in creating phosphorescent salts that would absorb radiation from light and re-emit it at a more constant and steady rate. She applied the salts onto her gowns, resulting in a mesmerizing glow. But this isn't the only thing she created. Fuller held many patents from the United States and France for lighting and stage design. Fuller's combinations of light, color, and her use of electricity made her one of the most technologically advanced people of the time. The idea to start with the dark stage is something that Fuller came up with. She used the dark for dramatic effect, unlike other dancers who kept as much light in their performances as possible so that you could see every movement. This style is now used on almost every stage. During the First World War, Fuller devoted herself to relief work for the Allied countries. Loie Fuller and Marie Curie worked to transport X-ray equipment to the edge of the battlefield. Thanks to this work, she won decorations from Romania, Belgium, and France. After the war, Fuller founded and taught a school in Paris with the objective of teaching students dancing and improvisational techniques. She also took the students to Egypt and on other tours as well. Fuller had many famous people as friends and colleagues. She worked with Thomas Edison and was friends with Auguste Rodin, the famous sculptor. Stéphane Mallarmé, the renowned symbolist poet, described how Loie Fuller's dance transcended the physical realm by saying, "She lost the materiality of the body and became an idea." Fuller was also good friends with Princess and later Queen Marie of Romania. Fuller had many people impersonate her, people taking her dances and her style and claiming it as their own. Even some of the companies that she worked with would hire fakes. Fuller inspired many artists such as Auré de Toulouse-Lautrec, and in 2018, Taylor Swift dedicated a performance to Loie. Fuller's influence is more prominent than is often recognized. Without her combining colored light and dance in the way that she did, contemporary performance would not be what it is today. Loie Fuller was a pioneer in modern dance and lighting, as well as so much more.